As a rank and file member of Congress, I am not entitled to personal protection by the House and instead have used campaign funds as permissible to retain security services. I have not used any federal tax dollars for personal security services. In accordance with all applicable rules, I retained my husband as part of my security team to provide security services because he has had extensive experience in this area.
The Justice Department is investigating a member of the so-called squad who's in Congress, and one of her Republican colleagues is using some choice words to respond. Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush is now denying allegations that she misused funds for security services.
This aged like fine milk. Former squad member Cori Bush's husband has recently been charged with fraud. A hardline liberal in New York City just got embarrassed as she tried to bully a Trump supporter wearing a MAGA hat. And Social Security could be stopped indefinitely, putting millions at risk, all because a judge wants to stop DOGE from doing its job. Now, I got a lot of important updates today, so let's go ahead and get things going with former Congresswoman Cori Bush. Now, Bush used to belong to the progressive group called the Squad. But last year, she lost a primary to St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell. She was also involved in an investigation which questioned her hiring her own husband as a private security. Now, despite her being supportive of the idea of defunding the police, and if anybody needs a quick refresher as to who Cori Bush is, this is her in a nutshell.
I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety.
The wealthy should pay their fair share.
Yes, wealthy should pay their fair share.
What is a fair share? What percentage?
So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share?
Their fair share, the same. If a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going to taxes. Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not the poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? What fair share would you like to change the tax rate to on the wealthiest what percentage of Americans so it's a fair share?
So let's say the wealthy 1% could pay, let's say if they paid, let's just give them 45%.
Okay, cool. So now that we all remember her, it's now come out that her husband has been charged with wire fraud. Imagine that.
Breaking news out of Washington, where former Congresswoman Cori Bush's husband has been indicted on 2 federal counts of wire fraud. According to court documents, Courtney Merritt's filed fraudulent applications seeking pandemic funds, one with the Small Business Administration in 2020 and another 2021 under the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. Combined, the DOGE says those applications allowed him to collect more than $20,000 in government funds.
Reports state that Merritt's used this money for personal benefit and enjoyment. Now, I want you to remember that Cori Bush paid him more than $100,000 between January 2022 and September 2023. And not long after they got married, he was then provided bi-weekly payments of $2,500. The payments were formerly listed as security, but was changed to wages after they got married. And while he did accompany Cori Bush back then during campaign appearances, Merritt's was usually seen roaming through the crowd and greeting friends while other paid security stood guard. Records from the FEC show the campaign funds were used to pay both Merritt's and another firm for security. The firm was called Peace Security and was paid around $225,000 to protect Bush, while another security guard named Nathaniel Davis was said to have been paid $50,000. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. And moving on, guys, I want to talk about the aura that surrounds the MAGA hat. hat. For many Trump supporters, it's a simple hat that supports putting America first, although it doesn't necessarily bring out the best from some hardcore liberals, much like how they've been whenever they see a Tesla out on the road. Just becomes sort of a target for people, especially those who lean very far to the left. Kind of reminds me of this instance from a few years ago.
On a Hoboken man who says he was attacked for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. President Trump responding by sending him a new hat to wear. Jahanger Turan fractured his cheek after he says he was attacked last week for wearing the pro-President Trump cap. He claims a group of young people ambushed him on Canal Street in Chinatown. Now Turan received this letter and a signed hat from the president, but no one has been arrested in connection with this case.
Of course, an arrest wasn't made. If we were still under the Biden-Harris administration, arrests wouldn't be made with the Tesla attacks as well. But look how pissed these liberals get when someone within their view is wearing the hat, with them accusing the MAGA crowd of being racists.
That's why he won. Because people like you. That's why he won. That is why he won, because of people like you who need to stop and let him live.
Bro, just like, bro, chill, bro.
You're okay with that? He's a racist.
I'm okay. How can I be
He's
racist,
a
bro?
racist.
Okay with it.
If you fucking voted for Trump, you're a racist.
Leave him alone.
He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
No, he's not. Leave him alone.
Doesn't watch the news.
You realize
He wants to be
Democrats
highly educated.
Oh, are you? Then why are you wearing that hat?
Everything's going up for I don't know how long. The Democrats been running New York since who knows how long. But then Trump comes in and just takes over.
All right, well, this is my style. I hope you enjoy the hat.
Oh, she tried to attack her. She just... Oh, shit.
That's basically how karma works. And I'm not sure if you caught it, but she said that the kid should watch the news. So it's easy to assume that this woman is a product of left-wing propaganda, someone who just believes everything that's coming out of the mouths of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all these other news outlets who hate President Trump. Now, I also have to ask, isn't this the party of joy, party of caring? Because I don't think wearing a Kamala Harris t-shirt would get this kind of response from a conservative. Now, I'm just taking a wild guess here that this woman is going to go and say that this young man instigated all of this somehow, and that she fell flat on her face like a pancake because he ran away from her and somehow her falling is his fault. That's been the script for Democrats ever since President Trump won. It's always somebody else's fault, right? Now let's pivot here and let's talk about Social Security. Elon Musk and DOGE have uncovered multiple individuals who are aged beyond 100 years old within the Social Security system. Now, with all of them still receiving benefits, the problem is that most of them are older than the oldest person living today. Now, this has led to many questions about possible fraud within the Social Security agency. However, a federal judge just blocked DOGE from accessing the Social Security records in what seems to be an effort to try and block the public from seeing the truth.
A setback for Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. A federal judge blocking DOGE from accessing sensitive Social Security records.
And it comes as President Trump signs an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has those details.
In a 137-page ruling, a judge blocking DOGE's unrestricted access to sensitive Social Security agency data, saying the Trump administration failed to justify the need for the data, which they claimed was crucial for identifying potential fraud. The judge calling DOGE's actions a, quote, fishing expedition, saying the group's approach to identifying fraud is tantamount to hitting a fly with a sledgehammer.
Now, at some point, you got to wonder, what are they trying to hide in Social Security? The point of DOGE is to sniff out fraud, how our money is being wasted, to look for benefits that's being sent to people who don't deserve it. This is something that's hurting the agency right now. And yet we have federal judges who feel as if these people should be protected. Now, I know this sounds harsh, but it's hard to argue against DOGE's mission. And if you think about it, guys, our personal information is held by many different companies already. Just think of all the banks and different social media platforms that already have access to our data. This is nothing new. This decision from Judge Ellen Lipton Hollander is now being challenged. After Social Security Administration Commissioner Lee Dudick, he's suggesting to shut all operations until DOGE is provided with what it needs. Dudick claims that the order was too broad and also had this to say. He said this: "My anti-fraud team would be DOGE affiliates. My IT staff would be DOGE affiliates. As it stands, I will follow it exactly and terminate access by all SSA employees to our IT systems." This would definitely affect beneficiaries of Social Security, although he seemed to be talking about it in a hypothetical sense. clarifying that he wasn't going to shut down the agency and that they would comply with what the judge had ordered. So here's my question. Do you support finding fraud within the Social Security Administration? Let me know yes or no down below, guys. Now, I want to redirect you to a recent live stream of mine. I covered how Democrats are now turning against each other, with violence against their own party becoming a legitimate threat. Make sure you guys check that out. As always, appreciate y'all hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.